So quickly recap what we discussed in XJS class. Okay. Vandit, can you tell me Vandit, what is the standard syntax for reading the raw data?
It's data, then library name, let's say work, or data set, you can say.
Okay, data set name.
Data set name, then in file,
Invite.
data location,
Not a data, okay, raw data location.
yeah, raw data location. Then input variables.
Semicolon. Input variables.
And then
variable definitions and colon data lines.
Variable definitions.
Next colon semicolon and the next data lines.
Data lines.
Semicolon.
Semicolon.
So we have a variable data and semicolon and run semicolon.
So this is standard syntax for reading the data. So we can read the data internally and externally. These data locations will change. If you read the internally, you have to give data lines or cards, line statements, you can use it. And you can also read the data from externally. When you are going to read from externally, the data like location, you have to give the path. Okay, where your data sets are there, where your raw data is there, that path you have to give. Location, file name with extension. Clear? Okay. Next. Manasa, tell me the difference between infile statement and input statement.
Infile statement tells us physically where the raw data is, whether it is in internally or externally.
Okay. It will represent the physical location of the raw data, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, what is input statement?
It defines the variables and its data type.
Defines the variables and its data type to be created in the output.
To be created to the output data set.
Okay. So we started discussing some infile options, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ashok, tell me what is DLM option?
Yeah, it's delimiter, sir.
Delimiter. Tell me what is delimiter?
Like any special characters like which are followed by the numeric.
Special character which followed by numeric. Didn't get it. What is delimiter? When we will use DLM option, very simple. When we will use and how to use.
Raw data separated any other special character.
If the raw data is separated by any special character other than the blank space, correct? Other than the blank space, if we use any special character for separation, we'll use the DLM option. Okay, clear? Next, DSD. What is DSD? Shiva? Shiva Prakash. Okay, Ram. Can you tell me, Ram?
Yeah, DHT is the delimiter. It is used when the DLM is used, like any space is available or any, it is separated by any special character as well as any space, then we use the DHT in the raw data.
That is DLM, right? If the data is separated by the space or other than the space, any special character is separated, I use a DLM. I'm asking
Missing
you,
value in the between the
what is
missing
DHT
value,
equal
sir.
to?
Delimiter separated data.
Delimiter separated
Separated data.
data or delimiter specified data. When we'll use
Missing value, I think so. Missing value where we find out the missing value. Missing value in between the records, I think so.
when we have missing values in between the records. So that is
Yeah.
important. When you have a
Yeah.
missing
If
value,
missing value numeric, then it will show as the dotted, and if the missing value is alphabetic, then it will show the space.
yes. When you have missing values in between the records, then we are going to use the DHT option. This DHT option completely work based on the DLM only. Okay. So missing values, right? So what is the missing values means? If it's a character variable, you will get a space. If it's a numeric variable, you will get a dot. And output us. Okay. Okay.
I have a question about the length statement.
Yeah, please. Any questions? Tell me what is the question.
Sudarshan, I have a question about length statement.
Yeah, tell me.
So for the length statement, when we have, you said that for numeric characters, there's minimum is 3 and maximum is 8, right?
Right.
For numeric variables. Now, let's say if I'm working on one financial institution and there's account numbers which has 10 digits. So to accommodate that, I'll have to give that variable as a character variable, because character variables read numeric values. And since it is 10 digits, it can only be accommodated with character variable, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Simple. Okay. Still later also, you read it as a character variable. Still, if you want to convert into a numeric variable, you can convert it. Okay. There is an options we'll be having, input options, output put options. Later we'll discuss. Okay.
Okay.
You got it, right? You're reading the account number as a character variable. Because that account number maybe of 12 digits are there. So you are reading as a character variable. Later, some time of stage, you have requirement came that account number variable you want to convert into numeric variable. How can we convert? We have functions that way. Okay. That is we'll go forward, we'll see. Okay, it's too early to discuss. You will going to confess. That's what I want to discuss. Okay. Any more? Okay, so we'll continue our options. Okay, so we discussed DLM and DHT. Next, see flowover, misover, and stopover. Flowover, misover, and stopover. Okay, when these three options will come into the picture. Okay. Okay. When we have missing values. When missing values are there in between, at the end of the record. When you have missing values at the end of the record, then these three options will come into the picture. Yesterday we saw we have missing values in between the records. Now we have missing values at the end of the record. When you have missing value at the end of the record, these three options will come into the picture. So what is the meaning of end of the record? Let me show you some data. See? Observe this data. Some students data I have. Student ID, date of birth, length statement, infile data lines. My data is available at data lines location. And my data is separated by the comma. So I'm using a DLM option. In input statement, I'm mentioning the variable student ID, date of birth, math, science, social. But observe the data here. So in the first record, student ID, date of birth, math, science, see social marks are missing. Similarly, in the second row, student ID, date of birth, math, science, social. Okay, social marks also available. In the third row, student ID, date of birth, math, science, social. Social marks are missing. So in the first for 1001 and for 1003, social marks are missing. That is means the end of the record is missing. Okay. So if you run this program, what's going to happen? I'm not using any option as of now. I'm using an existing program only. It's showing some note, last call. SAS went to one new line, input statement reached to past end of line. The student data set is created. I have only one observations, 5 variables. Okay. Only one observation created. That too, what happens? See, observe. Student ID, date of birth, math, science. See, social and supposed to get a missing value. In here, the next value, what is the next value? Next to student ID 1002 came here, and after that it stopped executing. So this is what happened. When you found a missing value at the end of the record, what did happen? It reads the subsequent value. What is the subsequent value? 1002. It reads into the social missing places, and after that it stops executing. So this is what happened when you have missing value at the end of the record. Okay. Now for this scenario, if I use flow over, if I use miss over, and if I use a stop over, what's going to happen? I'll show you the difference. Okay. So first we'll discuss flow over. So same program, I'm not doing any changes. I'm using the flow over option. Okay. Similarly, miss over option. Okay. Next, stop over. I run all these 3 programs. Okay. The same program. If I use flow over, what's going to happen? If I use miss over, what's going to happen? If I use stop over, what's going to happen? We'll see the difference. Okay. So this is the default program. When you run, we did not use any option. I'm getting the output like this. It's clear, right, up to here? Okay. Okay. See, now I'm using the flow over now. Same program, I'm not doing any changes. Data set name, and length statement for which variables I need a length. I'm mentioning the length. In infile statement, I'm telling the data is available data length location, and the data is separated by the comma. I'm using a DLM option. Yes, I'm using a flow option now. And input statement, I'm mentioning the variables student ID, date of birth, math, science, social are into the data. Okay. Now run the program. See the log. When I use a floor also, I got the same type of log. Lost guard, SAS went to new line, student one data, one observation, 5 variables are created. Previously also I got the same log, right? Previously also only one observation, 5 variables are created. Here also one observation, 5 variables are created. See, you got the same output data set also. And then what is floor is doing? Lower won't do anything. Okay. By default, if you did not mention anything, by default, what it will do, if you use a floor also, it will do the same thing. Floor to check the default behavior only. By default, what is it is doing whenever it have missing values at the end of the record? What it is doing? It is reading the subsequent value. Whenever it find a missing value at the end of the record, what is doing? It reads the subsequent value here to the current variable, and after that it stops executing. That is the default nature, and that is the floor nature also. Okay, what is floor? Floor is a default behavior. Clear? What is the default behavior? When missing values at the end of the record, when use a floor option, what is going to happen? When missing values at the end of the record, it will read the subsequent. This is the subsequent value. Subsequent value into the current variable. What is the current variable? Social. Into the current variable. And after that, what it is doing? After that, it is stops executing. Stops execution. Clear? Simple. So that is the default. By default, what it is doing, even if you use a floor option, it will do the same thing. Okay. That's it. Floor.
Sorry, a quick question.
Yeah.
So if it's doing the default, if floor is generating the default output, then why use
Correct.
it in the first place?
Why you are using?
Then what's the need to use flow over? If it's just doing what the system's
The
going to do
option
by
was
default.
available. That's it. Practically speaking, no one will use real time.
Okay.
Okay, but see, someone is using in your existing program, missover is used. Okay, some other option is there. You remove the missover option. What is happening with default? Do you want to check? Use a floor.
Okay.
To check defaultly what is happening, we'll use a floor.
Okay.
Instead of removing, add a floor. Okay, that's only sense. Nothing much use. Practically speaking, no one will use.
Okay.
When you come for real-time world, no one will use. 95% cases will. But only thing we have an option, we have to know. Because why I was telling these options, even if you haven't used, okay, you can ask a question like that. Because you go for a certification exam, okay, they'll give 4 options: floor, missover, stopover. You know missover and stopover, you don't know what is floor. Then you'll get confused, right? That's the reason I was explaining.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Okay, you have to know everything, but which one you have to use in a real time, that depends on the requirement will come. Clear? Simple. Okay. Now come to missover. What is missover? So let me use missover. Instead of floor, I replace with missover. I'm not changing anything in the program. Same data set name, length statement, infile statement, input statement, everything will be same. Now run the program. Now when you have missing values at the end of the record, what missover is doing? Okay, good. 3 observations, 5 variables are created. No errors, no warnings, no special notes. What it is doing? Wherever you have missing values at the end of the record, it replaces with the missing value. Miss over option replaces the missing value. Here, social is a numeric variable. That's the reason it replaces missing value. Social is a numeric variable. You are getting the dots. But suppose if it is any character variable is there, you will get a space. Clear? So miss over options replaces with missing value. Miss over option replaces with missing value. Missing values. That is, if it is a character variable, it replaces with space. If it is a numeric variable, it replaces with dot. Correct? Clear? Now your output data is coming correctly. So most of real-time scenarios, miss over option will use. That's the reason. Everyone requires a perfect output data set. No one would require a data set like this, right? That's the reason. Okay, very simple, very useful miss over. Next, then what stopover is doing? Instead of miss over, I'm using stopover. Run the program. See the log? Okay, it's throwing an error. What stopover will do? Simply, it will stop execution whenever it will find the missing values, whichever record. If it is first record or second record or third record. If it found a missing value at the end of the record for first record only, means the first record only stops execution. So in this our scenario, in the first record only it found a missing value. So it stops execution at first record only. See the first record only, it found a missing value for social missing value was there. So our system stops. Read this warning clearly, you'll understand. The data set study data 3 may be incomplete when the step stopped. There are 0 observations and 5 variables are there. Means he did not read anything by the time of stopping. Because in the first record only you have missing values at the end of the record. It stops execution in the first record only. And it will throw an error. Input statement exceeded the record length. Stopover is specified. So when you specify the stopover, it stops execution. But see here, for example, here in the first record only you have missing value. So you got a 0 observations. But suppose you have data like this. Not you have missing values at the end of the record for a third record. Still I'm using stopover option. What is the output I'm going to get? Yes, stopover. It stops execution. Definitely will throw an error. Where, but it stops execution at a third record. Means first record, second record it will read. See, that's what it was mentioning. Star data is maybe incomplete, but when this incompletion is happening, when this step was stopped, there were already 2 observations and 5 variables are there. See, now you are getting 2 observations. First 2 observations are reading correctly only. But when you are reading in the third observation only, it found a missing value. It thrown an error in the log window, it stops execution. Clear? That's what stopover. Whenever it will find a missing value, what stopover is doing? Whenever it will find the missing value at the end of the record, it will stops the execution, stop the execution, and it will throw an error. It will throw an error in the log window. Okay, that's what the stopover. Clear? Understand the difference? Flowover is the default behavior. So replace with missing values, stop or stops executing. Clear? Any doubts? Anything? Any questions?
Sir, actually, in these three options,
Hmm.
which one is the most frequently we are used in SAS program?
Miss over.
Mr. Okay, thank you.
So up to miss over also very rarely. When you come to clinical side, okay, you won't read the data like this. Directly data sets they'll give as input. If already data sets are given, then there these options will come. Correct, right? When these options will use when you read some raw data. But very rare cases will depends on your work. Okay. But if you use mostly you use miss over. Okay. Here, observe this log. You can see two things, right? Underscore error underscore underscore n underscore. Underscore error underscore underscore n. What is this? So let us discuss those things. Important things. Underscore n underscore underscore error underscore. These two are automatic variables. Automatic variables are created at the background. This will be created at the background when you are reading any raw data, any data set. When you are reading, see, now you are reading the raw data, or else you are reading from data set also. These two okay. Okay, Mabu, we take a leave, no problem.
Recording in progress.
See, these two automatic variables are created at the background when you read the data or when you read any data set also. So what it is reading, what is it representing this underscore and underscore first of all. For example, if you are reading the first observation means the underscore n underscore value, it will take it as a 1. Now I'm reading the second observation, that time the underscore n underscore value is 2. If I'm reading the third observation, the underscore n underscore value is 3. Similarly, 4, 5, 6. Depends on whichever observation you are reading. According to that, the underscore n underscore value will take it. Then, what is underscore error underscore? Okay, underscore and underscore, it represents only two values, one is 0 and 1. It gives only 0 and 1. 0 represents no error, 1 represents an error. 0 represents no error and 1 represents an error. Okay. Zero represents an error and 1 represents an error. So I'm reading this first observation. At the time underscore and underscore value is 1. If I read this first observation successfully without any errors, that time the underscore and underscore value is 0. Now you found some error while reading the first observation, the underscore and underscore value is 1. Simple. Now I'm reading the second observation. The underscore and underscore value is 2. If I read successfully, the underscore error underscore value is 0. If I have error, 1. Similarly, for third observation, 3. Read successfully 0, no errors 1. That's the reason. See, observe this program. When I run this program, we found error in the first record itself. Correct? In the log, see, this is the first record 1001, first record. The underscore and underscore value is 1. We have an issue with the first record itself. That's the reason underscore error underscore 1. It did not read correctly. In this program, okay, we have a issue third record. See, for third record means that's the reason underscore n underscore value is 3. And you have issue, that's the reason underscore n underscore is 1. Okay. And one more very important meaning is, it's not meaning that whenever you have issue only these two variables will be created. No, even though if you read successfully, for example here, it did not have any error, any warning. So in this scenario also, this underscore n underscore error will be created at the background. It will be created only. You can't see in the log, that's it, simple. But whenever you read some data, or when you read some data set at the background, definitely these two automatic variables will create it. How it created? I'm reading the first underscore. First observation means we're going to read it as a underscore and underscore, it would treat it as a 1. And underscore error underscore is going to treat it as a. So here first observation I'm reading correctly, so 0. Now next, second observation. When you read a second observation, underscore and underscore value is 2, underscore error underscore value is 0. Now in the third observation, underscore and underscore value is 3. Now underscore error, I'm not reading successfully, that's the reason underscore error underscore value is 1. So we have issue, that's the reason it was showing in the log. That's the reason showing in the log. If doesn't have issue means it will be having these values also. Underscore n underscore error values for these observations also it is there. But it is there at the background. You can't see. Okay? Understand the concept? Later this underscore and underscore will also use it for programming purpose as well. Okay? I'll tell you how to use it in the later stages.
Here the error means only 1 it will show. If the missing letters are 2, missing numerics are 2, then also it will show
Not
1
about a
or
missing
2.
of 1 value or 2 value. You have a missing, you have a error in there while reading this record. That's the reason it's 1. There is no 2, 3, 4, 5.
In the previous data set, we are missing two numerics, right?
Okay.
Yeah, here it is 2.
Hmm.
Yeah. Then it will show error 1 or error 2, 2 errors like that.
No, you didn't understand that. See, for every record, it will create these two automatic variables. Now here I'm reading the first of record. Okay. Underscore n underscore value is 1, underscore error underscore error also 1. Why? You're reading the first
There is-
observation, so that is 1. You have an issue for this record, so 1.
Okay.
For underscore and underscore, only 2 records, either 0 or 1 for each record. If I read the second observation, the underscore and underscore value is 2.
2 and error is 0.
There. The underscore and underscore value is
3, error is 1.
error is 1. Number? But actually for this program, this is your understanding, this is what understanding is correct, but you use a stop. Okay, this is not a miss over, right? Okay. This is we are doing it for miss over, actually we have to do it for the lower or anything. Miss over anyway will reach everything will read correctly only, right? You'll get 0 only actually. For miss over, you won't get any errors. Correct? I'm using miss over. Did you got any issues? Everything read correctly only, right? When you have issue only. While reading the particular observation, if you face any issue, any problem, that is of any problem, is underscore error underscore value. Okay. Clear? Okay. Any doubts? Anything? Not only raw data, even for data set you are reading.
Uh,
For example, this data set you are reading. Data class from data set I'm reading from SAS cell data class. That statement means you're reading only, you're reading. From this data set, you are creating a new data set. That means you're reading the first observation is underscore and underscore value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like this. 19 observation. For every observation, the underscore and underscore value will be created. Okay. When you run this program.
Sudarshan, I have a doubt.
Correct.
In input statement, we have given student ID $, right? So it's a numeric variable. We don't need to give the $, right?
Okay. Not required. But
In input statement also.
Yeah, it's not wrong, right?
Yeah, it will read both the variables, but
That's
okay,
right.
if you want to convert it to character variable, then we can give $ as well, right?
My requirement is I want to read as a character variable only.
Okay.
You cannot say that, right? Why you are reading as a numeric? Because my requirement is as a character variable only I will read.
Okay. Okay. So it does completely depend on us, right? So whether we can
Depends
give
on us. Simple. Depends on the requirement. End of the day, it depends on requirement. Okay. I'll tell you the reason also why I used a length statement as why, because if I use for a date of birth only I used means what going to happen? And length statement, whichever variable will mention first, that variable will come first, right? So when I show you a data set to you, so this is the okay, this is the first program, right? See the data now. Student ID, date of birth, math, science, social coming, right?
Yes.
First student ID, date of birth I used. For example, if I did not use a student ID, let it reading as a numeric variable only. No problem. But what going to happen?
So data birth will come at first.
Will come first. I don't want to show you like this. That's the reason I'm reading as a character.
Okay, got it now.
That's why my intention, but actually speaking, you can read it as a code character value numeric variable, right?
Yes, yes, got it.
So this concept was clear, right? Underscore and underscore underscore.
Yes, yes.
So now move to the other options. So we are done with flow over, miss over, and start over. So now we'll discuss input options. When input option single trailing will later after some classes. First you have to discuss double trail. Okay. So when we use double trailing option, okay, when you are reading, okay, when you are reading multiple observations, when you are reading multiple observations per record. Generally, one record have only one observation. If you have multiple observations in one record, that time we'll use double trailing option. Let me show you an example. See. Observe this program we know, everyone. I have accounts data, account ID, customer name, account type. Okay, 4 variables, 4 observations are there. Account ID, customer name, account type, amount. Okay, when you have data like this, no problem. 4 variables, 4 observations are there. Now, but suppose my data was not like this. In the first record itself, I have 2 observations. 1001 account ID details, 1002 account ID details, and in the same record. Similarly, 1003 and 1004 account ID details in the same record. Means in the one record, I have 2 observations. If I have data like this, how can I read it? Or else, all the 4 observations are there in only in one record. Now tell me how to read this one. We know if data was like this, 4 variables, 4 observations, we can read it. But if you have data like this, first run the program and see what was happening. It did not throw any errors and warnings. But see here, only 2 observations, 4 variables are created. What are those 2 observations also? See, 1001 account ID details and 1003 account ID details alone, it was read. 1001 RAM savings 1000. 1002 account details, it is not reading. Similarly, 1003 also. So reading correctly, 1003 customer name, account type, amount. But 1004 detail is not reading. Clear?
I think it is more than 32 characters.
No. This observation itself, it is not reading, right?
Yeah.
It's reading only these 2 observations. Similarly, if I run this program, what is the output I'm going to come? What is the output will come? Any guess?
Only single.
Only one observation.
1001. One observation.
Only one observation will come, right? What is that one? 1001. RAM savings amount. Why? What is happening? See the nature of an input statement. Okay, understand what is input statement will do. So what we gave a 4 variables here. So when you give 4 variables, it read only 4 variables: account ID, customer name, account type, amount. After that, it won't bother what it is there here. It immediately will go to the next observation and start reading again: account ID, customer name, account type, amount. After reading 4 variables, again same. Come here, account ID, customer name, account type, amount. Same behavior if it happen here also as well. Account ID, customer name, account type, amount. After reading the amount, immediately it will go to the next observation and start reading: account ID, customer name, account type, amount. It won't bother what is there here. Clear? That's why you are getting the missing. It won't read here. It won't read this value because we are not telling the SAS to read these values, because we are telling to read only 4 variables. If reading the 4 variables, automatically will go to the next observation, start reading. Now, but we have to tell now to the SAS, read these values as well. How can I tell? Simply use double trailing option. When you use a double trailing option, what going to happen means, see, first account ID, customer name, account type, amount it will read. Suppose to go to next observation here, next line, next record. but I used a double trailing. When you use a double trailing, what instruction we are giving to the SAS means read until end of the line. Where is end of the line? This is end of the line, right? This is not end of the line. So this is not end of the line. So that's the reason start reading again. Account ID, customer name, account type, amount. Yes. Now I reached end of the line. Then even if you reach double trailing, I reached end of the line, so it will go to next record. Account ID, customer name, account type, amount. But I use a double trailing option. It will check whether this is end of the line or not. So this is not end of the line. So again start reading. Account ID, customer name, amount. Now I reach end of the line, come out. See, now run the program. See the log. See this time 4 observations, 4 variables are reading correctly. That's it. Okay. Same way this one as well. So I'm mentioning only 4 variables. So 4 observations it will read. So in one record, that 4 variables it will read. After that, it will go to the next record. That is the nature of an input statement. Now we have to tell the SAS saying that read until this end of the line. Okay. So account ID, customer name, account type, amount. After reading, I will be giving the double trailing. So double trailing will tell read until end of the line. So this is not end of the line. So again start reading. Account ID, customer name, account type, amount. Again this is not end of the line. Again start reading. Account ID, customer name, account type, amount. Like this until end of the line it will read. Now run the program. See the log. 4 observations, 4 variables are coming correctly. Account ID, customer name, account type, amount. Okay, clear? That's it. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts? Anyone? So whenever you're reading the multiple observations for each record, simply use the double trailing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's it I have for today. Remaining options we'll discuss tomorrow. Remaining are important options. That's it for today. So any questions, have any doubts? So everyone started practicing.
Recording stopped.
So please start practicing from day 1. Okay. So don't wait.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir,
Yeah.
for me, the application, it's not working.
For you it is pending, right? Ashok, is it done for you?
That Mega I have installed that. Application has been not done.
Complete download. Kishan? Kishan, is it done for you? Kishan and Rama?
So I have download from the second one, but it's still showing the 0 megabytes. So I can see like 19,000 files, but the length of the file is 0 instead of 15 GB or 13 GB.
Why? It's
I have-
downloaded or not?
It's downloaded because it's completed twice. I did deleted and downloaded again, and both the time it's showing same error that there are 9. Do the right click and see the properties. So it says 19,000 files, but the GB is 0.
No, it means it's not downloaded. It's just folder downloaded. The data is not downloaded. You could have checked here whether it's downloading or not. When you keep downloading, Here it will come. Downloads are happening or not. It would have shown here transferring. Right?
Yeah, it was showing over there.
When it was showing transferring, it is downloading here.
Yes.
Okay, wait, I'll connect you through TeamViewer and I'll check.
Sure.
Okay.
Will do it.
Ram, I'll also connect to the TeamViewer and I'll check to you as well. Okay.
Okay,
I'll
sir.
also install 9.2. You can install 9.2 also.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Who else is pending for Kishan and Ram? Anil? Today Anil? Anil and Ashok?
Hello. So, sir, చెప్పండి.
Well, I both in the downloading installation.
I think download has been done, but the thing it is software is download or not, I don't know. I also need some.
Not application download. This is not MegaSync application. After download, login. After login, it will come this page.
Yeah, I
From
got
here,
that.
did you download it?
Yeah, I got that.
From here, did you download a 9.4?
No, this I have not done.
You have to download from here. That is what 13.5 GB.
Can you show me the path how I have to download? A little bit confused yesterday. That is the reason I have not done.
Install the application, login.
Okay.
Did you login? After login, go to here. Download option is there. Upload, download.
Okay.
Click on this download.
Then mega folder, right?
It's MegaSync uploads. Here
Okay.
9.2 is there, but for you 9.4 will be there. Click
Okay.
that, it's 9.4, give OK. It will ask a path. Choose a path where to download. Either on desktop or any D drive and D drive. Select the folder. Give OK. Simple.
Okay.
Okay, it will
I'll
go
do
to
that.
download 13.5 GB.
Okay.
So once done, let me know.
I will do that.
Okay, fine. Srinath, he left it. Okay, for others, I think everyone is done. Okay, fine. I'll connect you both. Okay, Kishan and okay.
Okay. Okay, Sudarshan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone. Okay, no notes. Thanks everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ajay.
Thank you.